The Desert X Art Exposition will come to a close this Sunday with a huge finale. Several students from across the valley are taking part in this collaborative event. I spoke today with Artistic Director Neville Wakefield about how Desert X went this year and his hopes for next year. Neville, how do you think overall Desert X went?
I think we're thrilled with the way that it went, actually. I think there was obviously a massive appetite for art and culture in general. We've been deprived of it for really over a year. And we've just got our numbers back, which I think, and I believe over 500,000 people came to see Desert X, which is really, testimony to people's desire to re-engage with culture. And those numbers are incredible. I mean, the Venice Biennial, the oldest and largest biennial in the world, has about 700,000 people over 6 months. So it's very impressive. And we're very proud to be able to be amongst the first to bring back culture to the Coachella Valley.
Overall, how do you think people responded to the different works of art? And were the artists surprised by the various interpretations of some of their works?
Well, it's always interesting because the artworks really, live in the world as conversations, and hearing some of those conversations amongst families and amongst this incredibly diverse audience that we have is one of the thrills of participating in a show like this. And I think they're always full of surprises, and I think that's the greatness of this and why people love it.
How do the artists feel overall with some of the ideas that were explored this year? Do they feel like they accomplished what they set out to do?
I think the artists were I think everyone was very, very happy with that. I think what was interesting about this year was that it really reflected many of the changes that I think we've been going through, not just in the past year, in COVID, but in the past, 3 or 4 years. When social issues of social justice, of environmental equity, and this kind of thing has come to the fore. So to see these works, precipitate these conversations is really very rewarding.
Obviously, we had a lot going on this year, so some of these works sort of spoke to what was happening on a national and international level. I know it's still early, but are you already thinking ahead to next year and some of the areas that you might be looking to explore?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately we're always thinking ahead. There's very little rest on this cycle. But yeah, I mean, we start inviting artists to come and visit. Probably in September, probably in the fall, and that's how a show like this is created. It's not so much curated. It's really curated by the place and the artist. So that conversation between the artists and the desert itself becomes the essence of the show.
And you also have a closing event this weekend. And for folks who still haven't seen any of the exhibits, is there still time?
Yeah, this weekend we're actually opening one of the pieces, and it's a piece by Oscar Murillo. And it's a community-based piece where he's given, we handed out, I think, over 1,000 canvases to school children from the school districts here. And they then create works on the canvases, which we're going to display over the weekend. So I'd encourage everyone to come and see that. And also some of the works are going to stay up, including Nicholas Galanin's, Serge Atakoy-Clotty's. And so there's going to be a little bit more to see than usual at this point.
All right, Neville, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.